Hello there, how's it going? This is going to be a video about Star Wars Celebration. Again, a little bit of a guide, if you will, some do's and don'ts of Star Wars Celebration. Just some friendly advice. You don't have to take the advice. I'm just going to give it anyway, though. And I know Star Wars Celebration is a long way out, but I just wanted to talk about it because I love talking about Star Wars Celebration. It's legitimately one of the most fun events you will ever go to. Now, I won't be going to this one, sadly, but I can still pass on some friendly advice. So, do's and don'ts of Star Wars Celebration. I have a lot more do's than I have don'ts on this list, so it is a little bit unbalanced. The first thing that I'm going to say to do is to have your account ready. Okay, I think it's still through Leap or ShowClicks, whatever it's through, have that account ready to go. Make sure you know your email, make sure you know your password to it, and just make sure that that account is ready, because when panel reservations and Lightspeed reservations for the Celebration shop come around, that is the account that you are going to need. That is where you are going to be able to log back in, select panels potentially, select shop entry. This is how it was done last year. It might be different this year, but that's how it was done last year, where you will just be able to go in and select, you know, what you want, and you'll be given like a little ticket and it'll have a QR code on there, and that gets you entry into the stages for the panels. These are mine for last year. As you can see, the Galaxy stage was for the Ahsoka panel, and then the Visions panel was on the Twin Sun stages, but that's where all that will be taking place in, is it Leap? That was in Leap for me last year. So if it was the same this year, that's where it'll all be, but have that account ready and accessible. I know that sounds like a really like, well, duh kind of thing, but the amount of people last year that I saw on Reddit and Facebook groups and TikTok being like, which account do we need? What password do I need? Which email address do I need? Ridiculous. So make sure that that account is ready. That's your first do. Now for your first don't of the video, it is going to be a pretty simple one at the event. Don't try and do everything. Next year's Star Wars Celebration is 4 days. That's a lot of Star Wars. If you are going all 4 days, there is going to be a hell of a lot of things to do over 4 days. Do not burn yourself out by trying to do absolutely everything. As tempting as it might be, don't do it. My first day of Celebration Japan last year, I wanted to go to everything. I wanted to go to so many panels, and the first one started at 10:30. I think the doors opened at 10. First one started at 10:30, and the last one would have finished at 5 o'clock, and the con shuts at 6. So I would have spent my entire first day pretty much in panels and would have missed like the show floor on the first day had I gone to everything. But I decided, you know what, I need to take a step back, decide which ones I really, really want to do, because again, you want to get out and have a look at the show floor. You want to meet people and talk to people. Like, I have so many friends on different countries now that I wanted to meet up with over there. And had I just been like going to the panels by myself, I would never have met so many people that are friends now. Don't try and do everything. The best advice, which I see a lot, is to pick 1 or 2 things per day that you really, really, really want to do, and then plan the rest of your day around those 2 things. So basically, don't overload yourself. Don't try and do absolutely everything. Now, for the next do book your hotel in advance, well in advance, if possible. I know that there are hotels available through the hotel block. I don't know what the situation with that is, because obviously you needed to buy tickets and I didn't buy tickets, but book your hotel as soon as you can, because we got very, very lucky with Japan. We waited for the hotel block, because the hotel block in Japan wasn't at the same time that tickets were purchased. It came months later. We waited for that hotel block, and when they finally revealed what hotels they were and how much they were, we were like, we don't really want these. These are really expensive and really far away from the convention. We wanted to stay close to the convention so that we could, you know, run back to the hotel and drop stuff off, go back. We didn't want to spend an hour on a train every day. So definitely book your hotel and plan your route to and from the hotel. Check what the public transport options are. Check if it is walkable. Just double check how you're going to get there and get back every day from that con. Again, I know it's one of those things that seems like, yeah, well, that seems obvious. Again, so many people don't really think about it until the last minute. And with the hotels, if you haven't booked anything yet, check like the accommodation sites, you know, like Expedia or travel.com, booking.com, whatever they're all called. Check them frequently for the area that the convention is going to be in. Because when we booked our first hotel for Star Wars Celebration Japan, we were going to have to take a train an hour and 10 minutes every day, back and forth. So an hour and 10 there, and at the end of the day, an hour and 10 back. That's a lot of time on a train in a country that we were not familiar with, not super confident navigating. Luckily, I was like an insane person checking and rechecking Expedia every day just to see if anything would open up in the vicinity of the event. And about a month beforehand, I think it was, something opened up literally a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks away from the event. We switched hotels and it was perfect. It was walking distance every day. We could walk back to the hotel for lunch. We could walk back and drop off all our merch that we'd bought. It was fantastic having somewhere that was in walking distance, and we only got it because we checked and rechecked and checked again on the accommodation sites out there. So definitely, if you don't have accommodation yet and there's nothing in the area, in the immediate vicinity, just check, recheck, check again, especially as it gets closer to the events, because that's when people will be like, oh, you know what, I can't actually go to the event, and they cancel accommodation, more rooms open up. So again, if you don't have anything just yet, it's not time to panic just yet, but just again, check and recheck for accommodation as the event gets closer, because you might find something better, something cheaper. Just keep on it. Now this one may be controversial, but the next don't for me is going to be, don't get autographs or photographs with big celebrities. Now this is why it's a bit controversial. Me personally, I don't particularly care about getting a photo or an autograph with someone, or at least I don't care enough to wait around for hours on end for it. I also don't like paying a huge amount of money to do so as well, but that's just me. I know a lot of other people love doing that kind of stuff. We got a photo with Ahmed Best, and it was the selfie version where we just went up to the desk that he was at, spoke to him for a minute or two, and then took a selfie on my phone. I was okay with that because it didn't take very long. But at Celebration Japan, celebrities like Hayden Christensen and Diego Luna and even Anthony Daniels had lines that were hours and hours and hours long because the tickets for the photo ops and autographs were oversold by a massive amount. They were turning people away and telling them to come back on a different day despite them paying for a certain day. And then when they came back on other days, they were turned away because they were like, well, no, you have a ticket for Saturday and this is Sunday. But they were like, oh, but we were told to come back on Sunday. It was a mess. I only heard obviously second and third hand accounts of this because I didn't get the photos, but it just never seems to go super smooth. I heard stories of people waiting 6 hours in line to get to the front of the queue and then, oh, we're cutting it off for today. Personally, I wouldn't do it unless it is like your dream, your one thing, your bucket list thing that you want to do. I would seriously consider just not bothering, because it is going to eat up a lot of time. It's going to be expensive, and there is always the chance that you won't even get the damn photo because of how these things are run. They are run incredibly poorly, and actually, for once, not actually ReedPop that does this, I believe. This is usually done through another company. But yeah, if you really want the autograph and the photograph, err on the side of caution, and like just honestly prepare for disappointment if you do it, because I'm not trying to like fearmonger or anything, but just from the experience that I've seen, it can go pretty like not smooth. Like, yeah. So just something to keep in mind. I honestly wouldn't recommend it. Even our thing, the selfie thing with Ahmed Best, even that had a hiccup where the time we were originally given, yeah, you can come get a selfie at this time, was the same time that he was in a panel, or it was the same time that he was being interviewed on the Celebration Live stage. but it was also the same time that he was supposed to be doing autographs. Because it's a different company, different scheduling, it can be messy, so it's just something to really, really look out for. My next do is a bit of a specific one. So every celebration, they have a thing called the art show. This is where they get about 20 or so artists to do exclusive art pieces for the event. I love the art shows for Star Wars Celebration. Like, they are just gorgeous pieces of art. I love buying artworks and that. I bought 2 last year. I actually bought 4. 2 of them were gifts. I bought 2 for myself. I'll put them all up on screen here. I adore the art show. I love the artwork that these artists put out. Pre-order it. You can pre-order this art once that it goes on pre-order. They'll have a limited amount up for pre-order, and then there'll be a limited amount that you can buy at the show. If you really want one of these artworks though, I suggest pre-ordering it. And when you go to get your artwork, poster tube. Bring a poster tube. I didn't even think of this until like a week out of the event, being like, hey, wait, how am I going to get this stuff around without damaging it? Poster tube. That is the answer. They're cheap. That is a nice like recyclable cardboard one. It was only like 10 bucks in that. Great. You can slip it on over your shoulder. They're light. But yeah, poster tube, pre-order the art. I can't recommend the art show enough. I love the art show. I love the artwork that comes out of Celebration. So yeah, pre-order it and bring a poster tube with you, because you'll also be able to get other posters at the event. Usually if you go to a panel, at the end of that panel, there might be a poster that you can get. For example, when I went to the Zero Company one, we got a Zero Company poster, and that was the one we got from the animation panel sitting up the back there. I've got a couple of other ones floating around somewhere. I got an Andor one, and it doesn't fit in any frames. It's like the weirdest dimensions. The stupid ass poster. I need to find a frame for it. But yeah, poster tube. If you like collecting posters and artworks, that will save your life. For my next don't, again, a little bit niche, but if you're a cosplayer and you really, really want to cosplay at Star Wars Celebration, hell yeah, go for it. Do it. Do not do any bulky cosplays. Do not do any bulky cosplays, especially if you have to travel far to and from the event. For example, I didn't cosplay in Japan at all. I made that decision like from the get-go. One, I didn't want to transport any of my stuff from Australia to Japan, and then I didn't want to have to transport it from the convention to the hotel and back. I just didn't want to do that, so I made the decision, you know what, I love cosplaying. I love cosplaying Star Wars characters. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, because there was too many other things I wanted to do. But if you're going to cosplay, yeah, go for it. Don't not do it if you really want to cosplay. But again, just remember, unless you're local and you can get this stuff around easily, bringing in your full kits and stuff, make sure you have a place to change, make sure you have a place to store it if you want to get undressed out of it. I just would advise against bulky cosplays, especially if you are going to be going inside onto the show floor, because it can get very crowded, you can get bumped, your cosplay can get knocked into, and things will snap off. It happens at nearly every single convention I've been to. I just see people clashing together. Honestly, in Japan, it was fucking amazing. No one bumped into anyone despite the amount of people that were there. Everyone was so respectful over there. I don't know if I can say the same for any American cons that I've seen footage of, but just, yeah, if you're wearing something bulky and or expensive, maybe reconsider doing something a little bit cheaper, lighter, more portable. This is going to be one just for, again, for the event. Do remember to bring these things. Just a little guide here of things that you should definitely bring with you to the event. Bring a backpack or a bag, a decent bag that can fit a few things in it. Bring water. Okay, stay hydrated, because you are going to forget to drink water like I did on the first day, and I was like dying by the end of it. Bring a portable charger as well for any and all devices that you might have. That will also be a lifesaver. And I'm just gonna say it, deodorant, bring it. I'm sorry, but I've been to way too many conventions where body odor is an actual problem. And look, just bring a little bit, whether it's a roll-on or a spray, doesn't matter. Just bring a can of deodorant with you. And of course, bring comfortable shoes. Now, I got caught out by this, not so much at Star Wars Celebration. We did a ton of walking in Japan. Star Wars Celebration, I did fine. 3 days at Star Wars Celebration, I was doing a-okay, but it was on concrete the entire time, you know, walking on the road and paved roads and that, so it was walking on really hard surfaces. We did 4 days at Disneyland and Disney Sea after Star Wars Celebration. Day 3 of that, my feet were gone. They were in bad shape. And it was because I had brought shoes that I didn't always wear all the time. Because at home, I wear like my work shoes and then I wear like scuffs, thongs and that. That's all I really wear. And so I had other shoes and I was like, oh, I'll just bring those. But they were not the right shoes for it. And so on the 3rd day of Disney, my feet were falling apart. We had to go to a chemist at night in Japan and we were getting these like weird patch things to put around my feet, which were actually fantastic. They really worked. But my God, my feet were dying afterwards. So same with this, but just for Celebration, bring shoes that are comfortable. Don't buy new shoes just before the event thinking that you'll just break them in beforehand. No, don't do that. Comfortable shoes, something that you've been wearing for a while, wear those. Trust me on this. And just also at the event, just remember to eat and drink, okay? Remember to eat and drink. You can bring your own stuff, that's fine, because food there will probably be kind of expensive. Same with Japan. It wasn't so much expensive, but the lines for the food was quite long. For the final kind of don't here, like I said, I don't have a heap of do's and don'ts on this list, but for the final don't, and this is again gonna sound kind of pessimistic, don't expect everything to run smoothly. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but when I step back and look at Star Wars Celebration Japan, the only celebration I've ever been to, there were a lot of hiccups. There were a lot of things that didn't go quite right. I still had the best time, don't get me wrong. I still had an amazing time, but when I step back and look at that event and how it was run and things that they did, there were some head-scratching moments there. Some things did not run smoothly. Like I said, with the photo op, with just getting a selfie with Ahmed Best, the scheduling was all over the place with that. The photos, like the legitimate photos that you get a photographer to take with the celebrities, those were chaotic as hell. The art show, which I talked about before, their systems went down when we went to collect our pre-ordered art, and then they only had 2 people checking off the art show pre-orders once the system came back up in a line of several hundred people. So it was very, very slow moving. There were things where like too many people were lined up to get into certain booths, so they would cut off the booth early for that day. They were like, no one else can line up for this until a lot later. For example, I wanted to go to the Hasbro booth straight away on the first day to get the Ronin Black Series figure, and I got in at like 10:30 and they had already cut off the line and they were like, we're not doing any more today, there's way too many people in the line. And there was just a lot of things like that, so don't expect everything to run smoothly. I know, again, that sounds very pessimistic in that, but like something will go wrong, don't let it get you down, is basically what I'm saying. Don't panic about it, just take a breath and move on. There's only a couple more do's I have on this list. Have the app on your phone ready to go. Closer to the event, they will update the app for Star Wars Celebration, and you can do a lot of things on here. You can have your tickets in there, I think. You can see the map on there. It'll have the panel schedule, what vendors are there. It'll have a lot of like nifty stuff in there. It's not a huge requirement. I don't think there was anything I absolutely 100% positively needed the app for from memory. But it's a good thing where you can sort of list all your panel schedules and everything like that. It's a good handy thing to have. So definitely have the app on your phone. For everyone going for 4 days, take advantage of Thursday. Okay, because if you look at the website of StarWarsCelebration.com, you will see that on Thursday, it says that there's not going to be any content on the Celebration, Galaxy, or Twin Sun stages. So to me, that's saying that there's no big panels on the Thursday. So to me, that Thursday, that's your shopping day. That's your merch day. That's your pick up your art show day. That is your day where you go around and see as much as you can because there won't be panels interrupting your schedule. So take advantage of the Thursday if that is one of the days you're going. Last two things will be join Facebook and Discord groups. There's going to be a ton of these groups out there. There's already a bunch out there. There's some on Facebook, Discord. You see them absolutely everywhere, even just YouTube channels. You know, find someone that's going to be talking about Star Wars Celebration, and well, like me, I guess. But yeah, join groups and find other people that are going. One, you can meet up with some people that you make friends with in these groups, but like they also just share a ton of information and announcements that might get lost in the ether elsewhere. So join those groups because they can be a really good source of information. And the final thing I'm going to say is make swag to trade with people. This is something I didn't really know a whole lot about before this event, but a lot of people make things and trade with other people at Star Wars Celebration. Like I'm wearing like some friendship bracelets that people gave me. Like this one says Wedge, this one says Luke, this one says Jecki. Like I love these, like because people made them for me. I'm not a bracelet person at all. I love these things. I love wearing them. And we got heaps of them at that event. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff. We got like postcards and patches and like magazines people had made up, some pins, coins. We had so much cool stuff that we traded with people for. We just made like some friendship bracelets of our own. I 3D printed out some credits and like put like little Star Wars Celebration stuff on them. And it was awesome. Like people were just trading so much cool stuff. It was really cool. So I definitely recommend making something that you can trade with other people at the event because it is a ton of fun and you can connect with some really cool people by doing it. And at the moment, that's all I've got for now. This isn't going to be a definitive list or anything like that, but I think it's a list that is good to get you started, I think. I will definitely be doing more content on Star Wars Celebration as we get closer and closer to that event. I'm insanely jealous of everyone who gets to attend this one. I just think it's going to be a great time. 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's going to be fun. It's also going to be super close to like Starfighter coming out, so I expect a big Starfighter push at Star Wars Celebration. Ryan Gosling will probably be there. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I can't wait to watch the live stream from here in Australia while you all have fun over there. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for now. Check back in a couple of days for a review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, which comes out this week. That's going to be an exciting, fun time, I hope. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure you follow me here and over on TikTok. Again, I love talking about Star Wars. It's my favorite thing to do in the world, and Star Wars Celebration is one of my favorite events in the world. And if you're going to it, you're going to have an absolute blast, I promise. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching. May the Force be with you, always.